How's it going, everybody? 1980s, they still got the cue cards going. Try to keep her dialed in here. So, as he said, my name is Joel Wysocki. A lot of you guys know me as Moose. It's my nickname for years. I'm a drug addict. Been a drug addict for 15 years, since 2006, and it definitely took the long way home. Definitely took the long way home. Currently, I'm clean 17 months. And I've been thinking about this all month. Well, Jason here had asked me last month, and I've been thinking about it all month, how I actually got here. And it's because of community, like you guys. So thank you, and the people that I put around myself every day. And anyways, I'm really happy to be here. So, I'm just gonna tell the story. I got a story for you guys. We'll leave out some of it there, but so I started using drugs. I was in an accident out west working in seismic, and though I tell the story, and I've been telling the story for years, like. I say that I was in a helicopter crash. There was no helicopter crash, guys. Absolutely not. That was my way. That was my way of justifying the drugs I was using. I did get hurt at work, and subsequently was prescribed OxyContin. I should have known right away. The moment I took that little tiny pill that I spent the next 15 years chasing around relentlessly, day, night, storms, I should have known. Because I remember I was walking into the doctor's office in Tumbler Ridge, and I remember the pill hitting me, and I'm like, oh, you're my best friend now. Like, where have you been all my life? You're my friend. But that was my soul telling me at that point that something's and I spent the next, from 2006, I was prescribed it for until 2013, but it didn't end. It definitely did not end there. I continued to, my doctor cut me off because he found out I had 3 doctors, and there was never enough. Like I was a bad guy. Not even gonna lie, did some bad stuff. And I regret that. And if anybody's here that I've crossed paths with in a negative way, I want to apologize right now. Hopefully you accept my apology, but I don't necessarily. I'm not proud of them days. So I'm just going to touch quickly on, during this time when I was using, I was constantly in a fog. Like, people ask me nowadays, why are you always, you're always happy and smiling? Well, yeah, because I've been in a shroud of, just for the last decade and a half. Of course I'm happy. Feels good not to be just crushed by this little tiny pill that I've been chasing non-stop. So, during this time, I distanced myself from my family. I had a really good group of friends from high school who I've reconnected with now, and I avoided them at all costs. I was in the grocery store one day, probably 2015 or 16, I don't even remember when, but I seen a friend from high school, and I spent like there I am trying to maneuver out of the grocery store like a ninja so that my friend doesn't see me. How am I gonna get out of here? You know, it's not funny, but like you can't see me right now. I'm so lucky that like a lot of these friends they're there. They're there for me now. One of my friends, I was over last weekend. I do a run with him on Sunday mornings. And he's got his kids calling me Uncle Moose, and he may not realize it, but inside I'm just like, yeah, woo! Sorry, it feels good. Ultimately, listen to this. So, I had hurt my knee out west. Okay. I allowed the doctors and surgeon to do a surgery on my knee that never needed to be done, swear to God, in exchange for the pill. And it's like a millimeter big, like just completely control. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's how strong that was. So thankful to be here right now. So I spent until 2020 is when it started to turn around. For those of you that don't know, I robbed 2 pharmacies, straight up. Sorry. I'm not supposed to even go into the pharmacy, and you know what? A couple months ago, I walked right in there and said. I'm like, shit, the last time I was in here was, He looks up and he's like, he's the same guy. And I'm like, gotta apologize. I know I'm not, you can technically get me in trouble right now, but I'm here and I'm apologizing. He's like, yeah, I understand, So, that made me feel good too. Pain. So, I took, again, I had a pain issue, right? It's nowadays, like, I don't even trust my own response to pain. That's how much this has affected my brain. Where, like, something hurts and I'm like, fuck, excuse me, shouldn't swear, sorry. I'm not even sure that it's real. Still to this day, and like I said, I'm 18 months clean. I did 2 years. We'll get to this, but I did 2 years before the 18 months. There was a little slip in there, but 2020, I robbed the pharmacy in Beachburg, my own pharmacy. Could have got a little more creative with that, like. Real good, real slick moves. You know what I mean? Like, so I go to jail. Okay, perfect. Sorry, not perfect, but I remember being, and then where did I flee to? Westmeath. That's where I'm from, man. Of course. Right on point there that day, Pardon me wanting to get caught though. I'm willful, I've been to rehab. I've jumped over the fence in detox and like maneuvered out and then like it had to go down that way. It just had to go down that way. So I get arrested. They got me on the trunk of the car. Took you guys long enough, So I go to jail. Perfect. Just zip through this, no problems. Get all cleaned up, and everything will go well. Wrong. It was. So I won't go too deep into it, but I did 26 months straight in federal in Collins Bay. During which time I was in a coma for 4 days. Had 5 ribs broke. Both hands, and just nonsense all the time. Seeing this day in and day out, like people getting stabbed for like canteen and a couple like top like just nonsense constantly all back, and like I'm seeing this and I'm, man, this isn't me. This is not me. It's really not anybody, you know. It's not, and I go through the 2 years. I'm seeing like, oh, this guy I was playing bridge with. Oh, there's his body going by my cell because he overdosed on fentanyl. Nonsense. And like, look, there was a point there's like 6 guys off my range in like a 2-week period. You know, like, crazy, man. And it affected me, you know? This is bullshit, excuse me. So bullshit. At this point, during jail, I start going, so there's a void, right? I quit doing dope. Like I could have got whatever in there, but I decided the right route for me was to go with nothing, okay? So, there's a void to be filled now, you know? The happy void. So I start working out. I start playing basketball. I start running. And luckily I had my guitar in there. Thanks, Mom. So I got back to the stuff that made me happy when I was a young lad, you know, before substance and drugs. So I got it handled, right? We're good. Get out of jail. So then March 2020, woo, we're good now. Let's get back at her. Boom. 7 days later, relapse. 7 days. Like, oh yeah, we got her under control. Frig, man. 7 days. So we're missing something. I'm missing something. Still running my will. Still running my will at this point. So I go, but they don't revocate my parole for a little bit. I'm out for 5 or 6 months. Eventually it catches up with me. I decided I went to Ottawa I was on full parole and I went to a halfway house. Again, probably my soul being like, yo, man, like, get out of here. Running, running from the addiction. And so I got revocated, I went back, and then so October 21st is the day I went back to jail. And that's my clean date, which is almost 18 months ago. So what really solidified this for me was on in November 20, I lose track of dates here. November 2022, yeah, because we're 24. When I got back to Collins Bay, a guy tried to take some of my food at supper, and we had some words. So ended up we got into an altercation. Okay, didn't notice it at the time, but I come back out and I go to my cell, and my buddy comes in and he's like, yo, Moose, like, you're leaking. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So I got stab wounds up the side and in my back, right? And he drops like a ceramic blade on my, you want to deal with this? And at this point, exact point, I made the decision, never again. No. Done. These aren't my people. This isn't cool. None of this is like, this is crappy. I'm sorry again. So jail saved my life. Also, how is it that jail is where I became free? Crazy, eh? How's that work? But it did. It's the way it happened. So, anyways, I made that decision then, and I haven't touched drugs ever again since. Even from my doctor, like, he tried to give me something for my thyroid a couple months ago, and I'm like, no, bud, I'm not falling for that again, you know. No. It's like a standoff, you know. So January I get out of Collins Bay for the last time, and I go to Ottawa, and I become involved with a group called Whitestone. They're a Christian group in Ottawa, and this is where my new community begins, right? The friends and everybody's come back, and but I go there every Tuesday for the community. And we have good talks and just about life and certain whatever. Just it's a men's group, so we talk about all kinds of different stuff. But I do that. I'm involved with yoga twice a week. I meditate. And then last April, I moved to my friend, Louis. He lived up by the airport. He was in the military, just getting out. But this guy became one of my best friends. He invited me and took me to Dominican this year, and like, just amazing, just amazing experience. So I do yoga. I met my friend Louis, and then I started running in last April. It's funny because like I ran into an old officer that I talked to, and he's like, what have you been up to? I'm like, oh, just running. He's like, yeah, you always were good at that. Sorry, man. So life, my life now is what I consider amazing. Every day I wake up, first thing, smile and thank. Everybody says God, I say source, but I thank God for the day that I'm still here. Super lucky, just about got me, And it's not like It's not like you just reach the destination being clean. For me, no. I've learned to enjoy the journey and the strength that it requires to be in that. And I'm diligent. You can always grow and be stronger, but I don't put myself. It's again about the community I'm around. I surround myself with good people who aren't, currently using. I do attend AA in Ottawa on Sundays. I have a home group in the Glebe. Got a bunch of friends there. I'm involved. Like my nieces and nephews are all super happy to see me every time. Uncle Moose, yeah. Well, yeah, it's great. And I can't even it was dark. Things were dark, super dark for a long time. But not saying, I'm on it. I feel like I've made it to an upward trajectory right now. Again, sound like a broken record due to the community that's around me. I've spent the last 2 months thinking about what I could say here today, and that's like people. Put yourself around people. My boss and my job. I have an awesome job. Friends that I grew up with in Westmeath. And every day is just a journey every day, but I won't keep it going here too long, take your time up, but listen, I appreciate all your guys' time. Thanks for being here. If anybody wants to ever talk to me, my Facebook's Joel Vasutsky. I'll be around here for a bit. If anyone wants my number, just ask. Thanks. Appreciate the time.